Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if I'm a little quiet, it's because like my neighbor's house is like literally right here, and if they come outside they will see this whole setup that I have going on right now. But I'm gonna try not to think about that. Right now I'm about to do a Q&A on my community page. I put ask me anything. Come on, let's get some good questions here. By the way, stay tuned for a story time that has to do with this picture below. And it says, do you ever think about all the shady places you went when you were like 15 or 16 and lied to your parents and wonder how you're actually still alive? So stay tuned for that, because I feel like I have a few times where now looking back I'm like, how the hell didn't anything happen to me? Like, I'm very grateful that I didn't, but yo, I used to put myself in horrible situations. But anyways, you guys asked a few questions under this, so I'm going to answer them. First questions, she asked 3, are from Primrose, and she said, are you talking to anyone cute at the moment? And I'm gonna keep it a buck, all right? There was literally a time where I was talking to maybe like a handful of people at once, not like dating or doing shit with, talking to. And right now, and mind you, that was probably like a month or so ago, and now it's 0. Just because, you know, you get to know certain people and you get to like I'm trying my best not to ignore any red flags, because in my recent situation ship thing, I fell kind of fast and I kept telling myself don't ignore red flags, and I feel like the vibes were so well and the person treated me so well that I did ignore certain things, and you know, I ended up ending, which that happens with relationships sometimes, and it didn't end the way I would have liked it to end. But yeah, I definitely did ignore some red flags. So now when I'm getting to know somebody, I'm like, literally any little thing that bothers me, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not settling for that. So currently talking to 0. I'd say 0 at the moment. Like, there's some that come in and out of my life that are people who like I have told and have told me that we're not looking for anything serious, you know. But as far as like anybody who I'm talking to every single day and stuff like that, no, talking to 0 at the moment. All right, I feel like that was like all over the place. But question number 2 is, what's your favorite drink / cocktail? So it just depends on the vibes, you know. It depends on the vibes. If I'm not going home, like if I'm staying somewhere, I will have a Long Island. I love me some Long Islands, and can't go wrong with a margarita. Maybe I'm basic for that, but I freaking love that. And yeah, that's about it. Question number 3 is, would you ever quit YouTube? Like if you had a full-time job, hopefully you stay forever. I would love to do YouTube until YouTube ends. If it ever ends, I highly doubt it. If I were to like work outside of the home, I will still probably do YouTube, but not as much. So someone said, Lucia is here, said, would you go back to your ex if he was completely healed and he was 100% about being with you? You said anything, and she put like a crying emoji. So it's funny because a few people have mentioned this to me because he's moving back over here. I feel like we're such in a great place right now where we're like better off as friends, and also I'm the type of person to forgive, but I do not forget, and I don't want to constantly like put this on him because we're in a good place. But as far as like, you know, let's just say, who even knows what he's thinking, but let's just say he would just try to get back with me. I feel like way too much has occurred for us to even think about that. Once again, I feel like we are better off as friends, and I would rather our kids see us have a healthy relationship being apart. Like, I do not see myself with him, and even like emotionally, physically, like I just am not attracted to him anymore. I'm not in love with him anymore. It's not a thing. So yeah, no to that question. At Home with Robin said, how do you handle the kids not seeing their dad regularly? Do they ask about it? I think they're already, I don't want to say they're used to it, because they don't ask about it every day, but they do whenever they speak to him, which is like every 2 days ish, you know. they'll get on the phone with him and say like, oh, when are you moving here, blah blah. But when they're not talking to their dad, they don't really mention it, so that's a good thing. But that wasn't the case when we first moved here, and Jericho was like, what, he had just I think he was like 4.5, he was about to turn 5, so it was very difficult at that time. But they don't really ask about it like that. I feel like Kalia especially, she's so used to like not living with her dad, because we did move here when she was 6 months, that she doesn't really ask about it, like I said, unless they're on the phone with him and they're like, when are you moving here, daddy, like we can't wait for you to come, blah blah blah. So Evelyn S said, what is your next solo trip and what is your next family trip, meaning what destinations? So our next family trip is going to be Florida. It's still in the country, but it's going to be Florida, which I'm very excited about. We're going to be going to Orlando, and my next solo trip will probably be Florida again. Yeah, because it's literally right there, and when I go by myself, it's a cheap, you know, plane ticket down to Florida if I don't want to drive. But I think we are driving. Well, I'm definitely driving this time around. I love how the birds sound. I'm glad that I did this video outside. It just sounds pretty. But yeah, so that's gonna be our next trip, so stay tuned because we're going next month. Cara Brown said, do you ever feel like there won't be a man who meets your personal standards as far as dating? I feel like I've been giving up and I'm such a lover and I don't want to have that mindset. Trust me, you're not alone, and there's a wasp right here. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna move. So when it comes to that, you're definitely not alone, because don't get me wrong, there are times where I feel so lonely as far as like relationship wise. Like sometimes I just want intimacy, sometimes I just want to be held by somebody, to be kissed by somebody. Like sometimes you just have those moments, and so, or like for me, I love chick flicks, and I don't know why I do this to myself. In movies, it's like the happily ever after, like so beautiful, like the love is so beautiful, and so sometimes I will just cry or like my sister will send me like this beautiful like proposal, or because we are always literally sending each other stuff on Facebook and on Instagram, like reels and like little like videos or whatever, you know. Let's just say one day she sends me like a proposal, or I'll see a proposal and I'll send it to her, and I'm like, I don't know why I do this to myself. Like I just start crying and like, damn, when am I gonna meet my person? Honestly, like the past couple weeks I've kind of been in that mindset where I'm like, bro, like am I really like gonna meet somebody? Like the dating pool right now is just like so sucky. Like people are not really communicating, people are not really real, as at least the people that I've encountered, or like they just like to waste your time. And I recently, after my last situation, I have told myself, like, if I don't see a future with somebody, or if I'm not like really feeling you in that way, I'm gonna let you know. And so I feel like everybody should be like that. So like the fact that like I feel like 95% of people that I've met are not like that is just so frustrating, because I'm like, goodness gracious, like where is he? I don't think my person is like in this city where I live in. But I feel like I'm just trying to have faith, because I say this all the time. I believe in love because of how I love, and I know that there has to be somebody out there who is the same way, who's like tired of people's shit. And yeah, low-key I wonder, like my sister's gonna watch this and she's gonna know who I'm talking about, but low-key I feel like there's somebody who has always been in my life that I don't know, might be my person. Not that always, but he's been there for a really long time, and he's just my friend. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, try to have faith, you know, try to have faith, because there's so many people in this world. Your person has to be out there. Just continue to like not settle, and try your best not to ignore any red flags. And like, even if it's something really small, like don't think, oh my god, I'm just overthinking, because that's how I was. Oh, I'm just overthinking it, like I'm doing too much right now. But like, no, when it comes to your life, your dating life, love, you got to be extra with it, and you got to be careful. But I'm sure there's somebody out there for us. you know, we might meet them tomorrow, we might meet them in 2 months, we might meet them in 2 years, we might meet them in 20 years, you know. I hope I'm not butchering this name, but it says Lavesi Streetboard. They have 4 questions. One of them is, what are some of your favorite videos to go back and watch? Mine are your videos from Texas. I love my Alaska videos. Those are my favorite. And whenever like Jericho and Kalia were like very small, like baby, because I have baby fever sometimes. But yeah, the Alaska videos. Do you ever think, what if you and Des stayed together presently? No, I don't. I used to like a few years ago, but not anymore. No, I feel like for the both of us, like, don't get me wrong, when I left Texas and we separated, there was definitely things that I needed to work on, which was knowing my worth. And I was very dependent. I was very like delusional, and there was a lot of things that I needed to work on, right, as far as like my growth as a woman. But there was definitely a lot that he had to work on as well. And so I can't even imagine if we would have stayed in that situation, especially because there were certain things where, if you're watching baby daddy, that he needed to put his foot down with when it came to other people throwing drama into our lives that didn't need to be in our lives. So I can't even imagine continuing that. So everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that it did. And we both healed the way that we chose to heal. And I feel like, once again, we're in a great place as co-parents. And yeah, I never think what if anymore. Number 3 is, do you ever miss the house yes, but let me finish it. Do you ever miss the house you had in Texas, and is that something you would look for in the future as far as layout, etc.? So I would love that layout here in Virginia, because I would love to stay here in Virginia. Those type of homes, like the structure, the layout, is like, you don't really find that out here in Virginia. Like, Texas homes and Virginia homes are completely different. And if you want some sort of a layout like that out here, it is hella expensive, like 500 plus. And as a single mom, I'm not gonna be able to do that, at least not right now. Like my first house, I'm not gonna be able to have that type of layout, or even that size. As far as my first home, I'm definitely going to have something like that in the future, as far as like the square footage and like the island. Like, I loved the way that it was. By the way, I'll link a video down below if you guys did not like see those videos or anything like that. I'll post like our first house tour down below so you guys can check out like the layout and how pretty it was. But I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, oh my god, like I used to love vlogging in that kitchen. I used to just love that house. That house was so beautiful. It was big and long. Pause. It was 1 floor, which was awesome too, and I just really liked it. But the vibes in that house, because of certain things that I was going through and what we were going through in that, like during that time, it just wasn't great, which made like living there in Texas per se like not a great experience. And then also there was like some creepy stuff going on in our room and in our bathroom, specifically in my closet. Like my closet, for those of you who are OGs, you've heard this story before, but my closet like had like a motion sensor light. Sometimes when I would wake up in the middle of the night, because I was pregnant, like around 2 o'clock in the morning, I would go and the light would be on. Mind you, I was like, oh, maybe it was like a little bug or something like that. But there was one time where I tested it and I grabbed like a thick piece of paper and even like a box, and I kind of went like this, like to the motion sensor thing, because there was like a little like box in front of the door, so if you walked in it'll turn on, and like, and if it like felt, I guess, your motion or whatever. So I put like a little paper on it, a thick little paper, and like a thick little cardboard box thingy, like just slowly went like that, and it didn't turn on. So like an actual human being had to walk in order for that fucking light to turn on. So that was a scary part. And because I am like big on like having faith in God and knowing that God protects me and stuff, I remember one time, this is like off topic, but I just want to share the story really quick. I remember one time I was by myself in the house and it turned on for the first time in the middle of the day. So it was like 12 p.m., like 1 p.m., like noon. The light was on when I went to use the bathroom, which it never did that like during the day. So I was like, oh hell no, this shit is fucking with me. Whatever this is playing with me. So I was just like, hey, whatever you are, you know, if you are, like, I'm just assuming it was like a friendly ghost, because I never felt like a bad energy. So I'm like, hey, I really don't like what you're doing, like stop playing with me. Go into the light, like please stop bothering me. I don't like it. I don't like the way you make me feel, blah blah blah. And then the light started turning on in my ex-husband's closet, and it stopped with mine, which is so weird. And just quick little story as well, when we first moved there, the previous owners left a whole bunch of boxes in the garage, and one of the boxes had like books with like weird little symbols on it, and I did not want to touch it. It was so freaking weird. What else? And then my ex-husband, when I moved out, there was a period of time where when we separated, like that first year that we like kind of rekindled things, and he had told me that this, once again, this was when I was already out of the house. He never mentioned this to me when we were together and living together, but he was like, oh, you know, our neighbor, when we first moved there, like that first week, he told me that I should bless the house. He never told me this until like I left the house and stuff like that. But anyways, and then like people who know me and know like what happened or whatever, as far as like me leaving and stuff like that, they were like, maybe like your light and your energy like wasn't supposed to be in that home, and it was kind of like kicking you out, like it was giving you the strength to leave. Something gave me strength to leave. I don't know what the hell it was, but I left clearly. And yeah, anyways, that's enough about that story. She also asked, 4, if you were to have another baby, would you want a boy or a girl now that you have one of each? Of course, them being healthy is number 1. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having either or. I really wouldn't. I love like boys, and I love girls, and I love, like, for girls, I love that like you can do their hair, and like they can relate to you or you can relate to them. And like Kalia, I see her growing and I see myself in her, which is so weird. Like certain things, because I see a lot of her dad as well, but you know, doing her hair, and like I feel like girl clothes is like way cuter. And then like growing up, like when she's older, we're gonna be able to relate to stuff, and hopefully she listens to me when she's a teenager and stuff like that. That's where I'm a little scared about, because she is a sassy little girl. She's sassy. And then boys are just so, I feel like boys are, don't get me wrong, Kalia is a mama's girl, but boys is just something different when it's with like boys. I don't know what it is, like they're so protective of you. Like I'm just picturing Jericho. Jericho was like such a chill little baby, such a chill little, but he's still a chill boy. And I don't know, I wouldn't mind having either or. And honestly, I wouldn't mind having twins. Let me not even speak that into existence, because I know having twins is like extremely difficult. Like I can't even imagine 2 Kalias. So yeah, never mind. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a boy or a girl. New York to Philly, Holloway said, do you think you can make a birthday video montage of yourself? You do such a great job with the kids, but I think you should celebrate yourself too as a mom. I think your mom would love it too. I never thought about it, honestly, because I love doing the kids' birthdays and stuff like that, because I have footage from when they were literally born until now. And for me, like the earliest memories, I guess you would see if I really dug into like my computer and my email and stuff like that, would probably be when I was like 17 years old, and then it would like jump to like maybe 20 years old, and then jump to 21 when I had Jericho, and like when I started vlogging and stuff. But I don't know, let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I don't know. So I guess that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any other questions, let me know so I can do another Q&A. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys made it to the end of this vlog, give me a thumbs up, por favor, and comment down below. What should we comment down below? Comment down below an evil eye emoji for protection. Anyways, I love y'all, and you guys will see me later. Peace out.